Hey guys, Darryl Russell here. I'm here in Chiang Mai, Thailand for the Chiang Mai SEO conference, and I decided to kidnap some of the speakers and some of the attendees, drag them back to my apartment here and interview them just for you guys to get some exclusive content. So let's get straight into it. Enjoy. Hey guys, Darryl Russell here. Welcome back to another episode of the SEO Show. I'm here with Wilson Viera. Thanks for joining me. Thank you. We're talking sales, guys. How you can go out there and sell your SEO services. A lot of guys are very, very good at what they do. They know how to provide the service, they know how to get epic results for their clients, but they don't know how to close clients. So in this interview, we're breaking down how to actually go out there and sell. What is sales? How to handle objections? What exactly to say when you get to the end of the deal to actually close it? And all that sort of stuff, really how you can go out there and get people to pay you for your services. Because you can deliver a great service, you need to get people to actually pay you for it. So that's what we're talking about in the interview. Hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get straight into it. Hey man, thank you for joining me. It's awesome to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So for anyone that doesn't know you already, do you want to introduce yourself? Like what it is you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Wilson Viera. I've been in sales for about 15 years now. Started working with Yellow Pages way back. It's obsolete now, obviously. And Yellow Book at the time had a strategic partnership with Google. So I sold what's now known as AdWords, but back then it was called WebReach. I was the top sales rep out of 300 reps for 3 consecutive years and dominated the East Coast. But long story short, I ended up leaving Google and Yellow Book and really all corporate. And
how long ago was this, by the way?
Going back 10 years ago.
Okay,
so
wow.
yeah, I made the jump and I never looked back. I decided I wanted to be an entrepreneur, help businesses grow, and really provide customers the expected outcome, because Google and Yellow Book at the time, even now in my opinion, are not, and this is why we're all SEOs, right? So that's my story. Wilson Viera. I've been in sales 10 years and want to help share with the world what I know and really kind of drill down on SEO and how to sell SEO specifically. But obviously this will include the entire gamut of sales and how to sell anything, because once you can sell SEO, you can sell anything. So,
same thing, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can sell a can of soda, an empty one even at that. But we'll get into that and I guess kind of help everyone spruce up on what they feel they need and whatever you guys want to ask me. I'm
Absolutely.
open book today, guys. So yeah.
It's awesome, man. So what did you start out with? You left the working with the agency and stuff?
Yeah, so it's funny. So when I left Yellow Book, I started to realize that these print publications were really obsolete and everything was kind of going online. Yellow Book even obviously did the YP, yellowpages.com.
Yep.
And I actually started doing hyperlocal directories. So I started.
Okay. Were you an online guy? You're very technical?
I'm not a technical guy. I'm a straight sales guy, right?
Okay.
But I've always been able to hold my own online in terms of like the digital knowledge, and I can speak on it intelligently, which is important.
Yeah.
But I've always got a team to help me do the things that I can't do. Obviously, you have to know your limitations in life. I'm really good at sales, and my partner's really great at SEO. Perfect combination. But I dabble with WordPress. I know how to build sites. So what I did was I started a hyperlocal directory in Connecticut and New York called Look CT, Look New York, Look NY, LookCT.com. Now we own Look New Jersey, which is not live yet. Look California, Florida, Nashville. I mean, we have probably over 30 across the country. And what I started doing was really helping local businesses that were paying for these print publications and not getting the results to start showing up on Google. And what I started to realize was that through just basic content SEO on these platforms, customers started showing up #1 for all kinds of keywords.
Nice.
So I started really ramping up the velocity of sales, and now I have 318 clients to be exact throughout the tri-state area, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, just paying subscription-based monthly services for these hyperlocal platforms. And what they include is basically, like your online reviews, so your hyperlocal credibility, some kind of description, inbound, outbound links to their content, things like that. Basic information is like a Yelp. I compete with Yelp. And,
okay. But then, just in that local area, not going.
Just in that localized,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
And all those Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, California, Florida, all those areas. And really started with those, and then started realizing that there was a need for other stuff, for real heavy SEO, lead generation, websites, videography. I mean, I even do aerial banners now. I have airplanes flying around. I get permits in a week. But I dabble in a lot of different things. I mean, I own cosmetic brands now, but my primary focus is digital, online, SEO, getting leads for clients, getting results. I think that's all I really focus on, to be honest with you. To me, that's the most important part of what we do, honestly. So,
why do you choose to sell SEO over like all those other things you've done over the years?
I think SEO it's probably the most important thing. I think that every business needs visibility. Without visibility, you're not even an option. What I tell customers is, look, if I'm typing in pizza shop in Manhattan, or let's drill down to like a town in Westchester, so let's say Portchester, New York, right? Pizza in Portchester, and you got the maps and you got your organic, and I asked the owner, you probably serve some of the best pizza in town, I hear, and everyone's cocky and ego, right? Oh, my pizza's the best. Well,
Sure.
you're not even on maps, and you're on page 8 of Google, right? Or page 3 even, or page 2, whatever. You're not even an option. Now,
Yeah.
Mr. Customer, if these other pizzerias are probably not even as good as you are an option, who do you think is getting that call? So I think SEO is vital in today's society, especially for businesses. And I think businesses don't quite understand the strengths that come with that level of visibility and getting top placement on Google searches, both maps, organic, whatever it is, but just being an option in today's day. Today we have more options than ever in life, right? So I think if you're not at least an option to at least increase your probability of getting selected for the services you render, you're out of the game, man. You missed the boat. So,
Absolutely.
So that's kind of why I feel SEO is really important, why I got into it.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like these days you've been in sales for 10 years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You have the tonalities down, you sound confident, you're a good speaker.
Thank you.
Were you always that way?
Yeah, so I mean, sales is funny, right? Sales has two components, right? The innate part where it's the innate ability, the God-given gift and talent you're born with. We all have that. But I always say to people, I can teach sales, I can teach verbiage, I can teach tonality, I can teach overcoming objections, I can teach all those things. The attitude, the confidence, I think that's something we're born with. Either you have that or you don't. That's why sales is not for everyone.
Sure.
You can honestly groom and fine-tune someone to sell. The good news for everyone out there that's doing SEO that's maybe not proficient in sales is I can teach you guys how to do this. And we started a YouTube channel called SEO Sales with my partner Shivga. So definitely start following us on SEO Sales, and we'll give the URL plug at the end for everyone. And I'll be offering sales tips, trainings just for SEO. But obviously, if anyone's needs other types of whether it's website sales or videography or whatever logos, branding, we do all of it as a full marketing agency in Connecticut and New York. So I'll be sharing all those tips. But I really want to drill down on SEO since this is what we're here for, and just kind of help everyone come to speed with what it takes to sell SEO and really how to close more deals. That's really what it's all about. We all want to make more money at the end of the day. We're all in this to make more money and help clients. So we'll get into all that stuff for sure.
For the guys that are kind of shy, introverted, not very good at speaking to people, do you recommend they practice and actually get good at sales? Do you recommend they just hire salespeople?
All right, so there's two things. So if you're a complete introvert and you don't have the confidence or the anxiety, maybe a lot of people get anxiety speaking in front of people, or in that situation, if it's not something you feel comfortable with, I would definitely say outsource it. Build a sales team. I have 36 guys working for me right now, hitting the ground every day. Building a sales force is vital. If you know how to build a sales team and you can train a sales team, the scalability is endless. I mean, you really sky's the limit, right? But if you have the courage to get yourself out there, try to get your first sale. It is a numbers game too. Sales is a lot of, I don't want to say luck because I don't believe in luck, but probability, effort, and just pure numbers. I mean, if you're dialing, if you're smiling and dialing, you're sending thousands of emails a day, right? It's like you said, to your point, you're gonna get someone to bite, and then it's following up.
Even if you suck at sales.
Even if you suck at sales, right? So persistence is key. I think persistence, perseverance is one of those things. Sounds very cliche, but I tell everyone, just keep pushing forward. All the energy you put out there becomes its own energy that propels itself in life. Now, if you don't put forth this energy every day, then you're just going to fizzle out like everyone else. And the main thing, I think the main thing and tip I can give salespeople or anyone that's looking to increase sales is wake up with a real purpose every day. Again, cliche, but I can't stress this enough. Wake up with a real purpose, a real goal. When I wake up in my morning, I'll go to the gym, I'll work out, whatever I got to do to make myself start my day. I'll wake up really early. I'm usually 5 a.m. I'm up and ready to go. And I know by 7 a.m. I'm gearing up. So when 9 o'clock hits, I'm hitting those phones hard. And my way of,
Still today?
To this day, yes. To this day,
okay.
The reason I do sales now is just the thrill of the chase. I love, to me, it's a game at this point. I make more than enough where I don't have to do sales, but I get bored if I'm not selling, honestly. It becomes an addiction. So I have sales reps out there, but I still wake up every day. I'll have my goal setting. Okay, I want to get 10 solid appointments today, and I'm not going to stop till I get 10 solid appointments. And if you do that every day, you're going to get results because it's almost impossible, right? I say, human beings, right? If you put forth effort and you keep doing something every single day, you'll eventually master it. It's almost impossible for that energy to not propel itself. But of course, people get discouraged. There's fear. There's doubt. There's all these things. The inner voice in your head, and you got to eliminate all that stuff and just kind of go full throttle at life. I say so. Definitely wake up with a purpose. Wake up with real, specific goals that you can hit every day, and just don't stop. Just do it every single day. And if you do it every single day, you'll get results. It's almost impossible.
Yeah, 100%.
So.
Here's a question for you. We're talking about sales today.
Yep.
What is sales? Like, what do you see it as?
So, I mean, if you look up the actual definition of sales, it's, I guess the exchange of goods and services or whatever, right? For me, as a salesperson, and I think everyone should kind of take this for what it is. Sales is creating a customer where one did not previously exist.
Okay.
Right? And if you look at any branding or advertisements that exist in today's day and age, that's what it is. I mean, if you see, McDonald's, it's what we're loving it or whatever the slogan is. They're trying to constantly get people to buy into a feeling, and everything is an emotional buy in life, right? So sales is creating a customer one did not previously exist, but understanding the psychology of sales, understanding that everything's an emotional buy. I like the color of this shirt.
SEO is an emotional buy?
SEO is an emotional buy for sure, because if you're sitting in front of a prospect and you're saying, hey, if I could increase your business, or forget that, if I can get your phone to ring an additional 100 times a day,
yeah,
and you saw results, and I got you to choose and pick and choose the most profitable pool of customers, right? Where you don't have to pick the $100 customer, you can start choosing the $2,000 customer. How do you think that would change your business? Or could you see yourself, having to hire more people? Would you be able to take on that capacity? And now you start painting this portrait for people. People are like, wow, he sounds pretty confident. He can get me these numbers, and wow, you know what? Yeah, wow, I could definitely would love to take on a few more $2,000 a month customers, and yeah, I could increase my staff and maybe get a new truck if I'm doing food delivery, or maybe if I'm a dentist, get another hygienist room, and yeah, that would make me more money. Now it becomes emotional, right? So everything in life, no matter what it is you're buying, it's an emotional buy. Whether it's food, sneakers, whatever. I mean, everything's emotional. Sometimes, look at all the water bottles here. I picked that water bottle there just because it looked cool the other day. It made me feel good. I was like, I'm gonna pick, water's water. But I mean, everything's an emotional buy in life.
Sure.
So I think if people understand that concept, when you get out there in front of a customer, think emotional buy. Like my fiance will go into the store and buy everything in the store just because it makes her feel warm and fuzzy.
Yeah.
She doesn't even use half the stuff that she buys. So I tell people everything in life is an emotional buy, and everything is based on emotions as human beings. So definitely.
And specifically for SEO, what elements make up a sale? What parts do you have to go, or process you have to go through?
So there's a few things that make up a sale. I mean, the first thing that makes up a sale, in my opinion, is enthusiasm. It's contagious, right? If you're not enthusiastic and you don't have the right attitude, no one's going to care about what you have to say, right? So you're the first sale that's made whenever you walk into a room, period. In life, period. You are we're constantly selling ourselves anyway in life, right? So you move through life not realizing that you're mingling, you're networking with people, how you look, how you make people feel, if you smile at someone, whatever, right? So enthusiasm is number one. And that's right in line with creating excitement. You want to be excited. I mean, it's contagious. If you're not excited about something, how are you going to excite a room? If I was like, yeah, guys, SEO is great. Sales is awesome. I love it. You could hear a pin drop, right?
Yeah.
But I'm naturally excited about life because I love what I do. You have to really love what you do too, right? So that all kind of it's all excitement, enthusiasm, loving what you do. The other thing is creating really good rapport with people. I mean, you want to create relationships and you want people to remember you. So I always say, be memorable, be compelling in what you say.
How would you be memorable though? What is memorable?
So when you're sitting with a prospect, creating a memorable experience could be as simple as really great dialogue. Like I'll walk into a room and if I see someone likes the Yankees, I'm going to start talking about the Yankees. Now, if someone likes the Mets, I'm going to start talking about the Mets. Being a New Yorker, whatever it is that they're into. I went into an attorney's office the other day and he had a picture of him and his son fly fishing. I don't know anything about fly fishing.
That doesn't distract, by the way, from you're trying to sell SEO. Doesn't distract having a conversation about.
No, because the first thing you want to do in sales is create that memorable relationship because you want to kind of break the ice. You don't want to just jump right into business. I mean, people already tense. You're coming to sell them something, so people already uptight and tense to begin with. So if you break down those barriers for people and you create that friendly dialogue or whatever it is you want to do to kind of break down those walls and barriers, I think you're gonna see the prospect across the table just melt. They get easy, and it's like, oh look, the regular guy is talking about fly fishing. People love to talk about themselves. Get people to talk about themselves. That's probably number two. The memorable rapport and experience and relationship. How they remember. How do you make them feel? Again, all emotional, right?
Yeah.
Third thing is probably I would say in sales is just listen. Really listen to the prospect. A lot of times salespeople will show up and throw up, and I say, just don't do that. You have 2 ears, 1 mouth, do twice as much listening as you do talking. I'm obviously talking a lot now because we're talking, but if I was doing a sales call, you'd be the one talking. I would just be asking you all the questions, The other thing that goes in hand with that is creating, establishing your control. Always staying in control of the sale. If you lose your control, you lost the sale. What else? I think
How do you do that, by the way?
maintaining control. I set the agenda from the moment I get to what I call the sales call, which is the actual meet and greet appointment. I think we covered this in the last video, but I set the tonality of what's going to happen today, guys. So I usually go, great, thanks for meeting me today. I'm excited to be here. Here's what I'd like to do today. Here's what we're going to do. Actually, never make it about I. That's the other thing. Here's what we're going to do today, and then tell the customer or the prospect. Well, he's going to be a customer at that point if you're good. Here's what we're going to do today. I'd like to ask you some questions about your business because I'm genuinely interested in what you're doing. I want to learn. Yeah. And I'm going to share with you everything I can share with you about my business. And look, unless it makes absolute sense, you don't have to commit to anything today. Fair enough? They're going to nod their head. Keep getting them to nod their head throughout the sales presentation. At the end, when you roll that contract over, it's as simple as, great, this makes sense, or makes sense to me, what do you think? It's a great closing statement. Makes sense to me, what do you think? Or we'll go over closing statements, but slide that contract over, get an autograph. They've been nodding their head the whole time. As soon as you say, this makes sense to me, what do you think? Yeah, great, let's get started. I don't even ask, like, hey, let's get your credit card. I assume the sale. That's what I do. That's what I've been doing. I always assume the sale. I always assume my presentation's so damn great that you're going to buy from me. And if you don't go in there with that attitude, you're not going to get a sale. You know what I mean? So, but I think so. The relationship, the enthusiasm is number one. The relationships, listening, proving value. I think you have to prove value in a sale. If you cannot prove value, meaning the value that I'm giving you is greater than the cost that I'm charging you. If people can feel that, they're going to buy from you every single time.
It has to be.
It has to be, right? Yeah. Those are some of the things. There's a lot of things that make up a sale, but I think those are the few things that do make up a sale. And then you have things like tonality, knowing your audience, who you're talking to, all those things. But we'll get into that in our own videos. If anyone has questions, I'm happy to kind of break that down more granularly. The other thing I say in sales is always peel the onion layer back, right? So if I ask a question like, how's business? And someone's like, good. I'm like, good like how? Because how do you define good? Good for me is like you're on a yacht checking your cash register from an app. If you're not doing that, Mr. Customer, then you're just mediocre in my opinion, no offense. But I know what it is to be good in business, and you're average. So and you don't want to disrespect it or make anyone feel like
you're not gonna insult them.
But you want to insult them, right? But I always break down when people are like, business is good, well, good like how, or things are great like how. Just keep you want to probe, right? So probing and asking questions is another thing I would add to what makes up a sale. If you're not asking questions, you're not going to sell anything. The other thing is you can't go in and out. This is not a one shop, like one deal close. Like you want to stay in there for 45 minutes, get people to build, you want to build trust. You want to establish a motive to buy. You want to create an environment where someone feels comfortable and ready to make a buying decision. Now, those are really the things that make up a sale in a nutshell. So I think if anyone can master those few things, whatever 4, 5, 6 things that make up a sale, you'll increase the likelihood of closing more deals for sure.
And what is the structure of your sales process? Like you cold call, right?
Look, in today's day and age, there's so many ways to reach a customer. Emails are they work really well. I'm from that old school thought where I can cover a lot more territory just smiling and dialing. I know if I have to send out 100 emails, even if it's a template, it's still going to take me some time. Where I can smile and dial, at least reach more people, and then at least say, hey, I'm going to pop in this day, or at least I'm going to give you the commitment that I just wanted to introduce myself, but I'm going to pop in, I'm going to pencil in you right now. I'll be in tomorrow. How's 2 o'clock sound? I'll bring you, what do you drink, coffee or tea? Whatever they say, I'll bring it in, and then we'll at least start the rapport and the friendly dialogue at that point. So yeah.
And cold call and sales, as in like inbound, like once you've got the lead, that's a different process, is it?
Yeah, for sure. I do straight cold calls. I'll find business cards. I'll go to page 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of Google. I'll find the people that are hurting the most. Even the ones that are just on page 2, just about to make it to page 1, but they haven't gotten there yet.
Sure.
That's a great way to cold calling. Another thing in sales is, as a salesperson, you always want to be observant, right? You always want to know your surroundings. So if I see a billboard and I see a lawyer and attorney spending, $50,000 on a billboard, well, hey, they believe in advertising. They believe in visibility. Absolutely. They're a believer. If you're not calling them, you're doing a disservice to you and even to them, right? Because they're spending a lot of money on that billboard, and you might be able to get them a lot more clients through SEO. So I think that's something too that a lot of people fail to realize in sales is, always be out there and ready to hunt and ready to service someone and really care about customers too. I think a lot of people in sales feel that it's just about making money. If you're in sales to make money, get out of sales, period. If you're not here to make people more money and put them before you, get out of sales. And if you make people money or you help people, you'll always have a job. It's like a plumber,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know how to do plumbing, hence why I'll call a plumber, right? So a lot of these customers don't know how to do this stuff. So if you can really think about the end result and think about the customer, I think Oprah Winfrey always said something like that. I think it was like, I never ever thought about money. I thought about helping people. It's really true though. I mean, it really is.
You must have thought about money a little bit. Come on, man.
Honestly, when I started this, I really had the mindset, honest to God, I just wanted to help as many people as I could and create a name for myself. And the money was always secondary to me because I always felt
there. It's not like the main, obviously I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
It's like, get the fucking money.
Yeah, right. I mean, I wasn't like just fucking fuck, man. I was just chasing money. I mean, obviously we all love money. Any salesperson tells you they don't love money is full of shit. We love money. I love money more than most people. But it's a secondary thing. It's not the main thing in my life. The main thing for me is I want to help as many people as I can because I know if I do that, the money's just going to come in. It's going to fall on your lap at that point, right? So that's kind of my mindset, my attitude towards money, I guess.
So your process is you're cold calling, doesn't matter, however you generally, it doesn't matter. And then you meet them in person 45 minutes, right?
At least 45 minutes.
At
you want to do a sales call, it needs to be 45 minutes. If you're doing anything less than 45 minutes, I can almost guarantee you 95% of the time you're not going to get a sale. You know, unless you're like insane. And I've never seen it done. And no one goes in there in 10 minutes and makes a sale. It's just impossible.
Is there like, I know you want the call to be 45 minutes, the meeting.
Yep. Is
there times when that selling prospect is just more ready to buy and they're just like 10, 20 minutes in, they're just...
Yeah, well, 10 to 20 minutes in is like you building that friendly dialogue and that rapport.
Yeah.
Usually the first question I ask people is, hey, how'd you get started? Because I know they're going to talk my ear off for about 15 minutes and I'll just kick my feet up, hand back, I'm just laying back in the chair. I'm letting them just talk about themselves.
Yeah.
20 minutes will go by, boom. I'll start my first real question was, how's business doing? How's your business right now? What would you, if you could wave a magic wand over your business right now, what would you change? That's a great question. You'll get all your meat and potatoes right there.
Sure.
And then extend it to 45 minutes because it takes time. You meet someone, you don't trust them instantly. You want to build that trust and that rapport with people. And if you can do that, in 45 minutes, you'll have a sale.
Absolutely. So you go through this process, you get near the end, and we've got a little fin here. SEO.
So I created
the
this.
objections, man.
So you guys won't find this anywhere online. This is proprietary stuff I'm sharing here. So, so you have your objection, right? So the customer will say, I don't know, yeah, I don't advertise, or I don't believe in advertising. Listen, man, my pizzeria has been here for 50 years. Everyone knows me. I'm good, thanks, but I'm all set. We hate to hear that as salespeople, right? So one of the things I've created for SEO guys is the SEO kind of overcoming objection acronym, right? So the objection, you have the objection, boom, right? I don't advertise, right? So the S in SEO, if you just guys remember SEO, you'll never be able to not overcome an objection. So the S is just state what their objection was again, almost like restate it in a sense and say, well, Mr. Customer, just to be on the same page so I understand you correctly, what you're telling me is you don't believe in advertising because you've been around for 50 years, you probably feel everybody knows you. Is that correct? And he's gonna be like, yeah. And then the E in SEO is empathize. So you wanna say, look, I can appreciate that. And in my experience, if I felt I was here for 50 years and I didn't need any new business, I'd probably feel the same way, right? He's gonna be like, yeah, great, you understand the customer, you empathize, right? The O is overcome it. But Mr. Customer, if I drove out, I don't know, half hour, and I took you in my car and I asked 10 people if they know you, I'd almost guarantee a bunch would not know you, probably, maybe even all 10, because there's a lot of other pizzerias here. Matter of fact, I'd be willing to take you in my car and let's drive out half hour and I'll even ask 5 people. If one of them knows you, I'll give you this entire thing for free. And guys are like, they don't want to do it because they know that not everybody knows them. The other thing is you do advertise, Mr. Customer. Look, it's 2017. If I type in your name, I'm sure there's a bad Yelp review, bad TripAdvisor review. Hey, that's advertisements. Just bad ones that you're not in control of.
Yeah.
Let's take control back in your advertising. Let me show you how to actually get better advertising and hence better results. And you do advertise, you have a sign up there. If I brought my screwdriver and took your sign down, you probably wouldn't care then, right? Of course you would. Your business card, that's an advertisement. Your t-shirt, that's an advertisement. You do advertise. You're just not in control of your advertisement. If I can help you gain control of your advertisement, you'll make a lot more money this year, I can guarantee it. And let me show you some of the results I've achieved for other pizzerias outside of your area that had similar concerns to you and are now making a lot more money. And a lot more people actually know them now. So SEO, and then the A, the end is the acceptance, right? So you want them to eventually, you want to overcome that and accept it. So S, state their objection. E is empathize. O, overcome it, and you get to the acceptance part where they just like, you know what, you're right. And it's not so black and white. I mean, you guys got to practice this, and there's a lot of objections, and every objection is different. But for the most part, you hear about the same 5 objections. And all the objections come down to one thing. It's fear, doubt, and maybe they really don't have the money. Maybe they really, a lot of people are like, I can't afford this.
That's a small number of times that actually applies, right?
Which
that they don't actually have the money to afford it.
Yeah, I mean, because if someone says, I don't have the money, I mean, I always say that the best thing to say to that is, well, look, do you see the value in what I'm, right? If you show value, money becomes almost obsolete, right? I don't mind being in, I don't see the value, I don't mind being in the room where people see the value. I don't want to be in the room where people don't see the value and it's just a money issue, right? But if it's just a money issue and they see the value, I'm okay with that. I can deal with you, seeing value, but it's a money issue because I can work with you on money. I can't work with you if you don't see the value in what I'm offering you, right?
Is that your fault for not positioning their value correctly?
Absolutely. And another thing that salespeople fail to do is to realize that, hey, if a customer doesn't see value, don't blame the customer. Blame yourself. You obviously didn't do your job. You didn't show enough value. So put the ownership on yourself and take a step back and say, hold on, well, I'm sorry, Mr. Customer, maybe I didn't show you enough value, and that's my fault, and I apologize. Let's take a few steps back and let me show you exactly what it is that we can do for you. If you guys can master that part, just take your ego out of the equation and understand there's another human being across from you. Maybe you just didn't do your job, and that's okay. Take a step back, resell them on the value, and establish that value and create a motive for them to make a buying decision, and then you will get a sale.
I like something you said last time we were talking, where you said if you get to the end and you don't manage to close them, you apologize to them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would always say, again, I apologize. Maybe I didn't do my job today, and maybe I didn't show you enough value. Again, it goes back to showing value. If you can show value to the customer, you'll more than not make a sale. Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I also like what you're saying about empathizing with them rather than just that's wrong.
Right. You don't want to sit there and
you
bump
are
your heads all day,
advertising. What are you talking about?
Exactly. Yeah. Definitely empathize with them. Let them understand that, hey, I understand your concern. I mean, I'll give you a great example of an objection I got not that long ago, which actually was, I don't believe in advertising. I don't believe in SEO. I don't believe in this stuff. It doesn't work. So I said, well, Mr. Customer, again, go back to the SEO. I'll state it. So if I understand you correctly, you're telling me you don't believe in advertising because you just feel it's not going to be beneficial or an asset to your business. Is that correct? They're going to say, that's exactly what I said. Yeah, you're right. And then empathize. Well, look, I can appreciate that. And I think, if I had some bad, rounds of advertising and a lot of budgets were spent, and, I think I'd probably feel the same way. But let me ask you this, Mr. Customer, and this is where you overcome it. If your phone stopped ringing right now, would you just throw it out? In other words, if you're a pizza shop, let's say, if your phone just stopped ringing right now, all your deliveries stopped, would you throw out your phone? No, you'd call a phone repair guy to come in here and fix your phone because that's a lifeline of your business, deliveries and people taking out and all that stuff, right? Well, same thing applies here. Don't throw out your marketing. Marketing works, right? Consider me your marketing repair guy. I'm going to come in here, I'm going to fix your marketing because it's been done incorrectly. I'm going to show you how to get your marketing to work for your business. And if you just give me a couple months, I'll actually show you results you've never achieved before. And that's how you overcome. So the SEO is a great way for you guys to remember. You can overcome almost any objection that way if you start really planning these things out that way.
Okay. So we've got a few of the most common objections that you run into.
Sure.
Do you mind if I just read them out and you can say how you
overcome it?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Sure.
We've got one saying, actually I've seen this a lot. So it's too expensive. I can't afford this.
It's
the
too
price.
expensive. I love that one. So it's too expensive. So there's a few ways to handle it too expensive, right? So the first one is for every dollar you give me, I'll give you 4 or 5 back, Mr. Customer. And that's how I want to work with you day in and day out. And you're a smart business owner, right? If we worked in that fashion day in and day out, would you continue working with me? If you, in the morning at 9 a.m. you gave me $1 and at 5 p.m. I came back and gave you 5 back, would you do that every morning? Of course you would. Because you're more than doubling your profit and you're in business to do what, Mr. Customer? Make money. And I like to think you're an intelligent business owner because you look like one. So here's what we're going to do. If we work that way, you'd continue working with me, right? Now, what if you didn't have that original dollar in your budget to begin with? Wouldn't you go out and maybe ask a friend for 50 cents, go under your car, find a couple quarters? You'd find a way to do that, knowing that I give you the commitment that I'll give you 5 back at the end of the day, wouldn't you?
100%, yeah.
Right? So that's how you overcome that one. The other thing is, when you have your contract there in front of the customer, I'll take stuff away. I'll start crossing stuff out. I'll be like, great, no problem. So it's too expensive. Well, tell me what you want to take out. All of a sudden, people start freaking out. Because if I'm giving you 5 or 6 market areas that I know that are important to your business, that you've never been able to kind of to saturate or penetrate, and I say, all right, so you don't need this area. You don't need this area. What about this town? Now, earlier on in my questions, I established the motive for them to be interested in those particular towns because I say, where are you pulling business from? And just draw a big map on a circle and, hand over the circle, give them the pen, let them engage the customer. Have them start filling in on that paper where they want to pull business from. You want this town, what about this town? Are customers coming this far for your pizza? Yeah, okay, awesome. Now at the end, it's too expensive. Okay, well, why don't we just take out these 5 towns? Let's just focus on 1 town.
Yeah.
And we'll do it for $1,000 a month, as opposed to $5,000 a month. Right? So now you hear them kind of freaking out. Nobody wants to take a loss. So if you start taking things off when people say, I can't afford it, that's really a great way too. But I always say, the dollar, for every dollar you give me, I'm going to give you 5 back. If we can work in that fashion, that's a great way to really show that that you're committed and that you're going to be obsessed about growing their business. They have to know that this is going to become an obsession for you. So unless you're obsessed about this, don't get into sales. So yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
We got another one. I don't really call this an objection, but I kind of get, like, you need to actually dig from there. So they say, like, let me get back to you on this.
Let me get back to you. Well, it's really, let me get back to you just means it's these are all excuses, guys. Like, no one is, this is all an excuse because they're just fearful or they're doubtful or they don't like you or whatever, or they've been burned before. Let me get back to you. I would say it's really simple. You could just be like, all right, fair enough. How long do you feel you need to think about this? Put the ownership back on them. They're going to say, I don't know, well, in about a week, would a week work for you? Yeah, great. Take out your calendar. Great. I'm going to pencil you. I'm going to be popping in here at 2 p.m. next Thursday. Does that work for you? Commit. Make them commit to you. And don't walk away. If you leave a room when someone says, let me think about it or something like that, or you lost the sale. If you leave the room, you lost the sale. So the other thing is, let me think about it. Really, if you really understand the psychology, right, of human nature and sales, let me think about it. I would say something like, look, Mr. Customer, with all due respect, I've been in sales for a long time. When someone tells me, let me think about it, it's usually for one of 2 reasons, I would say. Either they're interested and they saw value in what I'm offering them, or they're interested and saw value, but they're just not sure. Which one is it? And he's probably going to say, yeah, no, I see the value, I'm just not sure. Okay, well, in that scenario, Mr. Customer, when I hear that someone sees the value and they're interested in what I've offered them because they see that this is a good fit for them, then they're not sure. That usually breaks down to 3 things. Either they don't think it's a good fit for them, they didn't see the value in this, maybe they don't like what we're offering, or it comes down to monetary issues. You just don't have the money for it, right? And if you can then overcome those 3 things, right, they're going to buy. Because if you can get over the fact, do you feel this is a good fit for your business? Based on everything I discussed with you today, and I showed you how I helped Joe's Pizzeria out, your Sal's Pizzeria. Joe's Pizzeria is making, I don't know, $100,000 extra a year in revenue. Do you see how that might help your business? They're going to go, yeah. So it's a good fit for you. Yep. Great. So you see the value. Yep. So now it comes down to price. Is it just about price? Yeah. Great. Now you got down to the actual.
You actually know, yeah.
You broke it, peel that onion layer back, as I say, and get down to the nitty gritty. If it's about price, that's a good room to be in. You don't want to be in the I don't see value room. So if they see value and it comes down to price, you can work out price with the customer, bring it down, or give them like a middle tier. You don't have to give them the top $5,000 package. Say, look, if it's about price, I can give you like something that'll substitute this top placement package program that we're offering, and maybe give you something that is a little bit less aggressive. Maybe you don't want to go that aggressive. We can go less aggressive. We can take things off, Mr. Customer. And they're going to be like, they don't want the middle tier, right? Because this is what I recommend. If you just try this program I'm offering, you're going to get the results you're looking for. I want to give you the expected outcome that we agreed to earlier on when we were discussing. So if that's the expected outcome that you're looking for, we should really go with this program. This is my recommendation. Don't ever like steer away from stick to your recommendation, because the other thing is people are going to want all kinds of deals, and the second you start cheapening your brand, you've already lost. You don't want to give away deals, because then it becomes a trust issue, right? It's like, wait a second, you were pitching this at $5,000, now it's $50?
Yeah.
Right? So stick to your $5,000 and don't give everyone a deal, because people that want deals will always want more deals. You're conditioning them to always expect a deal whenever you go back to upsell them. Oh, well, this is going to be $10,000 a month. Can you do it for $5,000? No. All right, stick to your guns. And not every customer is a good customer, guys. That's another thing to remember. Not every customer is a good customer. There are going to be customers you want to walk away from, and that's okay. Don't just think about money, money, money. Think about your time is money, your energy, your sanity is money. If a customer is driving you nuts, that's not a customer you want to work with. That's the other thing. So, yeah.
Is there certain traits you look for when you're on the phone or you're meeting a person? It's like, this guy, I'm not fucking taking his money, like this guy's gonna be annoying. It's tough, because some of the worst customers that I thought would be the worst customers turned out to be my best customers. So I never generalize anyone. Some people are just having a bad day when you call them. Some people are just,
they don't know you. They get a million sales calls like this every day, so you're already kind of.
You gotta have respect for that as well, right?
Yeah,
they get every single day, all day.
Every day, all day. They're getting emails or phone calls from people like us, right?
Yeah.
So you have to understand that when you're calling them, you can't take anything personally. You have to be thick-skinned in terms of, to answer your question, in terms of traits. I look, everyone is a prospect.
Okay.
When you sit in front of them, you want to, kind of, pick apart their entire marketing campaign, find their pain, find their hot buttons, find their established to buy, their motive to buy, and then based on those things, you'll get your sale.
So how do you close the deal? This is a big thing everyone gets stuck for. They go through this presentation,
$1 billion presentation. Now you got to ask for your money, right?
You get to the end and like, boom, like what do I say? Like freak out.
What do I say now, right?
Yeah.
So, closing statements, right? I mean, we can get into that. I mean, that's easy stuff. But if you showed value in your presentation, and then you base your recommendation on what the customer told you and what their expected outcome is, it's as easy as saying, Mr. Customer, do you see how this is going to help your business?
Yeah.
Or do you see why this makes sense? And they're going to go, yeah. If they say yeah, that's a sale. They nod their head, right? That's a sale. Or, are you ready? Let's get started. I just assume the sale. I mean, it's really, people overthink that. I think if your presentation was a solid presentation, I start filling in the contract already just based on what I know they need. I'm like
sitting in front of them, just writing
right in front of them. I'm like, great. So let's talk about here's a piece of paper. Here's a radius. Here's where you are. Give me some towns that you want to pull business from. Boom. And as they're filling, I'm like, great. I'm already filling in the address, their information. I'm just assuming he's writing some stuff down. He's interested. Great. Boom, 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 boom. Great. Those are great towns you selected, Mr. Customer. Turn around. Awesome. Let's get started. It's as easy. Let's get started. And just let's get your autograph and we'll get started. Congratulations. This is going to be the best decision you've ever made this year. I'm so excited to work with you. That's an easy close, right? Or
I like that, by the way. Congratulations.
Yeah, don't ever say thank you because then it's about you. They did you a favor. You're doing them a favor. Remember that. I never say thank you for anything when it comes to doing business. It's congratulations at the end of it. A lot of people are like, thank you. That's definitely not my style. I'm congratulating you. Because you have to feel empowered, right? You have to feel like you are the best part of their day. You're the best thing that ever happened to them this year. And it's true, you are. You really are. I mean, if you can make them that much money.
You provide a good service, right?
Absolutely. If you're providing a great service, then you are the best thing that's happened to that business. Another great, I think Grant Cardone has taught this one, but I've been doing this one for years, even before I even knew who Grant Cardone was, is like the 1 through 10 close, right? So like, what would you rate, out of everything we discussed today, I think it was Grant Cardone, forgive me if it's not.
I think he does that, yeah.
It was, right? The 1 through 10. Out of everything we've learned today, guys, Mr. Customer, what would you rate, everything we discussed? And they're going to say, out of 1 through 10, right? I don't know, it's a 7. And I would say, well, okay. Well, what would make it a 10? And it's as simple as getting them to tell you the additional things that would make it a 10. We know we can offer that. Great, I just made it a 10 for you. No more objections? Let's get started, right? So that's a pretty good one. But I like to keep it real easy. Makes sense. What do you think? Or makes sense to me. Do you see how this is going to help your business? Or let's get started. It's that simple. I don't think you have to complicate the close. If your presentation was solid, just make your recommendation. If you showed value, they're going to sign, get their autograph, and get out the door.
I've heard people separate like sales into like there's the sales and then there's the closing, and the closing part doesn't start till the minute you ask them for like the sale.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you asked all the right questions and there was engagement, they're probably already sold, right? And if
most people sign from the minute you just like presume to close and like give them the contract.
Yeah, I like to close on call one, but to that point, if a customer calls you back, let's say they say, let me think about it, and you've gone through all your objection handling, they still say, I still need to think about it. You can keep pounding them if you want, but you're probably going to lose respect at that point, so I wouldn't do that. Sometimes you have to understand that they're going to think about it. But if they call you back again, a second or third time, you're definitely getting a sale. Nobody's ever called me back a third time to not buy something from me, right? So I don't fear and follow up, constantly follow up. Just giving you a polite follow up. Wanted to make sure that you know I didn't forget about you. Something as simple as that.
Or just phone calls, or?
Yeah, I mean, if someone says, let me think about it, you have to call back, right? So a lot of salespeople are like, oh man, I got this guy, they almost get nervous to call people back. Don't get nervous. Just say, look, hey, it's Will again, it's Wilson. Just want to give you a polite follow-up, let you know I didn't forget about you. I know we spoke last week and want to see where we're at with things, but I'm going to pop in this week, maybe Friday around 3. Does that work?
Okay.
Don't even give them an hour. Just let them know that's when you're coming in. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Awesome, man.
So once you've gone for that initial close, that's when I guess the objections start like coming out properly. Before that, they just go like, oh, this is great, this is great, this is great.
Everything's great in your question asking, right? It's at the end when you're asking for money that all of a sudden these crazy scenarios just popped up. it's just human nature, I think. But that's, recommendation. The sales process is really, and I'll go through this on our SEO sales channel on YouTube, but, set the agenda, set the tone. In the beginning, make sure they're a decision maker. Because if you give a
That's important, yeah.
billion-dollar presentation at the end of this whole thing, they're like, yeah, I got to ask my partner, Robbie. Oh my God, you're like, I didn't even ask to see.
But how do you find out without like insulting that person and be like you can actually make a decision? That's the right way of doing it, right?
Yeah, so I would just assume, give them a compliment. I would, if it's about,
Okay.
I would just say, you look like you're the boss here, right? You look like the boss here. So you're the only decision maker? Because you look like the only decision maker.
Yeah, okay.
Give them a compliment. They're going to be like, yeah, I'm the only, oh, no, I'm my partner, Robbie. Okay, listen, so I close up my book and I say, look, I'm going to give you $1 billion presentation, but just like your business and I don't know it, I know my business just like you don't know it. So you're not going to be able to relay this information to Robbie properly. So why don't I come back when Robbie's here and both of you guys can sit here and actually make sense of this, because this is going to be something real valuable for both of you, and I really wouldn't want Robbie to miss this. It's going to help both of you guys. So, and if he's got any interest in this business as much as you do, he's going to want to sit here and listen.
Do they ever say though, like, oh, it's kind of busy, he doesn't really get involved with this stuff?
If he doesn't get busy, then I would say, so you're prepared to make a decision today. If this all makes sense, then you're going to be making a buy decision today? And I would put the ownership on them, and they're going to say yes or no. And that's how you'll overcome. That's a big thing. It says a lot of people forget to do that. Yeah. And they jump right in there, and it's like, oh God, I just wasted an hour of my day, and I got to come back next month or whatever. So definitely qualify your prospects as much as possible. Even when you get there, build relationships, get all the objections out of the way early on. So if you're not a decision maker, let's get that objection out of the way immediately. Because at the end, you only want to have like 1 or 2 objections that you can overcome. You don't want to have all these objections plus the fact that I have a business partner who's not here right now that I have to run all this information by, because that's just going to waste your time.
Is there any other like pre-objections, I guess you call it, that you have to hit first?
No, I think, are you the main decision maker is the best pre-objection. Everything else is going to be a smoke screen or fear-based and really an excuse, in my honest opinion. So just be prepared to get hit with a lot of excuses from your customer, and just keep showing them value. If they really believed in their heart that for every $1 they give you, you're going to give them $5 back, everybody would sign up with you.
Every single person.
Everybody would sign up with you. So just keep that in mind, and really know and become obsessed about providing that $5 or whatever it is at the end of the day for them. If you always think that way, you'll always have customers. Period.
So on that point, how do you build like that trust up, that credibility up with that person, especially you just met them?
You just met them, right? They don't know you, they don't like you, whatever. References, I think, showing results. I'm a results-based company. I wouldn't want to work with you if I couldn't provide you the results. So let me not sell you on me. Listen, let's go online. Let's go on a few sites from customers that I'm working with right now. Here are their numbers. There's really their phone number. I'm not having you call my cousin Joe. Yeah. This is Chris from this company, ABC Roofing, whatever. Call Chris and let him sell you on the value I brought his business. Because I'm sure if my customers sell you on the value I brought their business, you might believe me a little bit more, and I have to eliminate your doubt, and I get that. Also, I'm prepared to do whatever it takes to earn your business, Mr. Customer. So you can call 1,000,000 references of mine if you have to do that, because I understand you don't know me, and a lot of sales guys and marketing guys before me have come in here and made my job that much more difficult. So guess what? I'm going to eliminate your doubt, and I'm prepared to do whatever it takes to earn your business. But I understand, Mr. Customer, before I earn your business, I want to earn your trust. If you can't earn their trust, you're never going to earn their business. Sure. So eliminate doubt, give references, testimonials, show results, and you'll definitely get some sales. For
the guys that we're in Chiang Mai right now, so there's guys that based here, they're targeting clients in the US, in Canada, or in the UK. Can they do this over the phone?
They can. The hour difference might keep them up real late.
Especially for the US or Canada, yeah.
But yes, you can certainly do this over the phone. It's a lot more difficult if a customer is the type of customer that wants some hand-holding, right? Some customers just want to see you, they want a face. Yeah. They want to feel that there's someone local. That becomes a big deal when you're talking about these high-ticket items, because people don't want to just drop $5,000 and feel like I'm never seeing this guy, unless all of a sudden from day one you're giving them $10,000, right? But yes, you can certainly do this, especially in our line of work. If we have, references, testimonials all over the world, I think you can overcome that. I think, the main thing here is explain to the customer, I'd love to see you and grab coffee every week, but you probably just want to get results from me, right? That's about all you care about. And if I got your results, but you never saw my face in person, would that really make a huge difference? If I really made you $1 million actually this year, you'd probably send me a Christmas card every year at the end of the year, and you wouldn't care if you ever saw me, right? So SEO guys that are not locally based, you can still do this. You can email, you can cold call. Don't be afraid. Just jump in there and roll up your sleeves and jump right in.
Here's another objection for you. SEO takes time, right? And it's going to
Sure.
be 6-12 months possibly before you
Yes.
get any sort of results. And a lot of prospects will freak out when you're like, yeah, it's
Right.
going to take 6-12 months before you get your money back.
They do. What you want to explain early on is that this is a long-term commitment, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to hand-hold you throughout this process. I'm going to share with you. I'm going to show you. I'm going to provide insight. I'm going to educate you. I'm going to help your business grow. But Mr. Customer, whatever was done previously has not been done right because you're not where you want to be. So I'm going to do everything I can to get it done right now, properly, so that in 6 months, this is just on autopilot. Now, everything I've done up to that 6-month mark is going to really streamline your business and become its own energy, where it's just going to be a snowball effect now. And the energy will propel itself, Mr. Customer. But I have to be honest with you. This is not a one-shot deal. This is a long-term commitment. And if you're in it for the long term, which I know you are because you're a business owner, then you're going to love the results I provide you because you're never going to go back. I'm going to be the last marketing guy you ever need to work with, last SEO guy you ever need to work with, period. That's all I want to get out of this. So yes, it's going to take some time. But you know, if at the end of 6 months or at the end of 3 months you don't get the results that we agreed to, you can cancel because I don't want you working with me. But I give you my word for whatever it's worth, you're not going to cancel. We're going to work together and we're going to continue to work together because I'm going to make you more money.
Awesome. Any final thoughts to wrap this up?
Just be people of action. Don't sit there and dream this up all
Yeah.
day and take note. Sometimes you got to just jump in. Don't dip your toe in the water. Just dive right in. You know, wake up every day. Be people of action. Just do. Don't think too much. A lot of people are just dreamers and they keep dreaming and you end up just wasting time. You know, don't delay your progress in life. Jump right in there. Do what you have to do. Make the phone call. Get the fear out of you. You're gonna fall a couple times. Get back up. Dust yourself off. It's sales. It's life.
Yeah.
Guys, deal with it. If this is something you really want, go out and get it. Anybody can do this. It's not rocket science. I would say that. Be enthusiastic. Be excited. Share your experiences with people. Be a human before you're a marketer or a sales guy or SEO guy. And just think about the customer. Just render great service to people. You'll make your money back tenfold.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining me, man. It's been
Pleasure,
awesome.
man. Likewise. Thank you, guys.